So this is the front of my house when you walk into the door. This rose bush in the front here, I've had it since I moved in. I planted it, so probably about 6 years now, almost going on 7 years. It split into 2 different rose bushes. It's a pink. And then I planted a rose of Sharon in there. What ended up happening was the rose of Sharon ended up kind of taking over the whole bush, and I was really trying to contain it and cut it down. But this year I just let it go, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's like filtering out of the rose bush. There's not a lot of blooms on this rose bush right now. I'll pop up a picture of what it looked like in the spring. So in the front swoop, it's kind of a mishmash of things. I'm not really married to this, and I don't 100% love it. I'm going to be kind of reworking this area, but I wanted just a staging section where I could put in different annuals and things. So I have some zinnias coming up. I had a couple of leftover asters that I put in there. These are the lemonade cosmos. I grew those from seed. I have some marigolds in there. I have a random Delilah just kind of popping up in the walkway. I have gladiolas that are coming up. Those will be really pretty. I can see that I'm getting a bloom on the gladiola already, which I really love that. It's gonna be gorgeous. I have some salvia that popped up from the back. I think it was left over from a year or so ago. I'm putting in some new drip lines because I've been hand watering everything, and that's just crazy. I had to redo the sprinklers. I don't particularly love this little area in the front right here. I'm gonna take it out. This English lavender, it looked fantastic during the spring, but now it just looks awful. It's dead and awful. And then I have a daisy in the back. It kind of flopped over into the walkway and it grew really funky. That's going to be a project I think that I just take out and replace it with something else. So going into my side yard, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this bush. It's a sage, and in the spring and in the fall I get gorgeous yellow plumes that come up, but then it just dies, and then I get these awful dead things that I gotta cut out. But I do see that I'm getting a lot of new growth because it blooms on old wood, which means the stems are woody and you get new growth on the stems. I see I get a lot of new growth going on right now. I have a lavender here. I gotta do some trimming on it. Things are looking a little dead. Rose bushes. I have an agapantha plant. Popped in some zinnias in here. Have a bush in there. This pathway I put in about a year ago, we had to pull it out again and then put it back up because we had to put some drainage in here. Have some succulents in a pot. My agapantha is looking really, really dog-eared right now. I think the rock reflects too much heat on it and it's kind of a problem. By the fence, I have this gorgeous bougainvillea. So this little section in here I just put in probably about a month ago, and I wasn't sure because of the heat if it would take off or not, but it seems to be doing really, really well. I planted a crepe myrtle tree in the front. The crepe myrtle tree is looking a little wilty this morning. I watered last night before we went to the fireworks show. I need to give it a little bit more mulch. We're having an extreme heat wave right now, and since it's a newly planted thing, it'll take off. They're pretty hardy, so I'm not really all that concerned about it. There's a swoop in the front here. I've got petunias in there. I got a bunch of marigolds. I got some sunflowers popping up in the back here. I just went in and I planted some sunflowers. They're all coming up really, really nicely. I really wanted to surround my whole front property with sunflowers so that when I looked out my window I could see them every day. I have 2 rose bushes here. This is a yellow rose bush. It had a flush of blooms. It's only the 2nd year for the bush, so it's not going to be massive producing right now. This is a Joseph coat. Once again, I got a flush of blooms in the spring, got a few more, and then it pretty much just died out. This is under the tree part. I have some more marigolds, I have some petunias, and I just planted this red salvia. I really, really like it. This petunia, I got this at, I think I got it at Green Acres, and I just love the color of it. I've never really seen, I can't remember the brand name that I got, but I love it. It's sort of a yellowish, orangish petunia. So I put that in there with the other orange and then offset it with some pink. I have a salvia in the front here that I've had for several years. It's really pretty in the spring, but it's looking kind of dog-eared right now. I'm considering if I want to pull it out right now or I want to leave it in. I just think it gets a lot of sun. It's gotten really woody. It might be past its prime. I might have to replace it with something else in the fall. I'm thinking about it. I added all this in this year. So more marigolds and some more of those petunias. I have some sunflowers kind of coming up on the side right here. I have a purple salvia. More zinnias, bush zinnias in the back. And then I have this bird of paradise. I planted up this little walkway here this year. I really, really like it, but it's, once again, very, very full sun. And until the tree comes in, I think I'm gonna struggle with what I have here. I have some cosmos that I grew from seed. I put gladiolas all the way down the middle. Some zinnias popping up. I just randomly just put some stuff in to see what was going to grow and what wasn't going to grow. I have a Delilah popping up here, although I don't know how good it's going to do. This I grew from seed. I believe it was a Johnny Seeds. It's the double yellow Rudbeckia, and I have a bunch of them in the backyard too, and they're finally just popping up this year, and I absolutely love them. Some kangaroo paw. And then the redbud tree, which is looking like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. We're hoping that improves. So some of the things that I have in my front yard, I planted because a few years ago, California went through an extreme drought, and I re-landscaped and took out a huge percentage of our lawn and started putting in these drought-resistant plants. And so now that it's been a really wet year, I've tried to put more color back in the front yard. So I have this really big flex that I planted this a couple years ago, and this plant right here has just been the most fascinating plant ever. It's called, I believe it's called a euphorbia. I picked it up at Home Depot and in the drought resistant section. I had no idea what it was going to do. The first year that I got it, it did nothing. It was just a regular green yard plant. And then last year, so I think what it is it's a biannual, which means that it blooms every 2 years or after the second year. I got on this plant these giant purple coneflowers that look like this. So needless to say, I was very pleased with this plant. I had people all over the neighborhood asking me what the plant was. In the corner over here, I have planted another African lily, and I put in some gladiolas in this center in here because I'm trying to get pops of color in different places. This is a sweet pea bush. I don't know, I had 2 years of this bush going really, really well. And then it started kind of getting a little dog-eared with a hole in the middle. It normally has these just gorgeous purple flowers. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I may have to replace it. This little section right here, I have a really nice African lily. It's really about 4 years old. This I just planted probably in May. So I actually got these at Costco. I got 2. And I put 1 on each side. I have some gladiolas coming in the middle, and then I have some proven winners, supertunias in the purple color. I've got some fountain grass, and I have a white lantana in the corner over here. I have more sage in the back. My fried egg poppy is pretty much done. I had a bunch of blooms on it. I just planted some more sage. I have the white autumn sage in the front, and I have this red sage that I just planted right here. This one in the middle, I've had this butterfly bush for probably 4 years now. It's huge. I don't know that I love it anymore. I'm considering just taking it out. I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't drop off the dead things, which I don't particularly love. I might replace it this year. So I have this pink crepe myrtle bush. I had a couple of them. I had a pink and a purple, and I took one of them out this year because I just didn't love it. And I felt like it was just too much. I replaced it with this pink bush. I thought it was a Rose of Sharon when I first bought it, but someone told me it's called a mallow. It's gorgeous, and it's really heat resistant for the front yard. I get full sun. It is kind of drooping over a little bit, so I'm gonna have to address that. Maybe fill this area in. I have some sage in the front, some purple sage. It went through a really nice plume of purple flowers, but then it's really kind of died back. I cut a lot of it back, and now I'm getting a few more purple. I have a purple butterfly bush. This is another one of those that I love them in the spring when they come in, but in the summertime in the full heat, they just look dog-eared. Just not pretty at all. Really bad dead parts that you got to go in and it takes you an hour to prune them all, and I just don't have time to do that. So I'm considering what I want to do with that. I might switch it to a Pugster purple bush by Proven Winners. This little area here, I have more African lilies. I have a Nyphophia in the back that looks like it's done blooming. Hopefully I'll get another couple blooms or pods before. I just planted this little area here. I have some purple fountain grass in there, and then I have a lily. It's early in the morning, so my lilies aren't full out yet. And then I have this white lantana. I have 2 sections of the white lantana in here. This little section in the middle has been really rocky and hard to grow in, and I'm trying to develop it. I put some gladiolas in just for like a pop of color, but I'm probably going to take the middle out. This lantana will die back in the wintertime, and then it just comes back and it sweeps over the whole entire sidewalk. And it just looks gorgeous, and I'm not going to take it out because I absolutely adore it. Last little section of my yard is kind of coming up my front walkway into my house. I redid this whole section about a year ago, and I don't know, I think it's going to be one of those things that just evolve every year, and I just put more stuff in and I take stuff out that doesn't work. It's an extreme heat area. It gets the full afternoon sun, and sometimes in Sacramento it can be like 110 degrees, so things just look tired. This rose bush that I have, this rose bush, I put it in a couple years ago and I love it. It was a grafted rose bush, obviously. When I first got it, it was like pink roses, but then the last few years I get half white and I get half red. Here's a picture of what it looked like in the spring. I think what I'd really like to do with this area is put in some sort of water feature, but we don't have electric in the front yard. We don't have an outlet. So I think we do under the house. So we might be able to go under into a vent and figure that out, or figure out some sort of solar pump that we can use on the front, because I think a water feature here would just be gorgeous. So thank you everyone for watching my July tour. This sunflower bloomed right after filming the front yard tour, and it's absolutely beautiful. Please hit the subscribe button to know when I post more videos and to support our channel. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.